on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Locked On 76ers Postcast and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta, and yeah, we can't have nice things. What began as the Sixers having Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey on the court for 2 games in a row, and the opportunity to win their, third in a row for the first time all season. Oh my goodness, it started with so much hope. Oh my goodness, the Sixers even beat the Pacers earlier in the year. Oh, with an amazing finish by Tyrese Maxey, and they get the Pacers again, this time in South Philadelphia, with everybody on the court. You already won 2 in a row, you won 4, that's 5, and you blew it. Mainly because Joel Embiid got hurt in the final seconds of the first half when he got I don't know if there's a more pretentious way to say he got smacked in the face other than face impact. He had right side of the face impact. That's what the Sixers announced. This is a man that's been hit in the face many times. This is a man that was going through Bell's palsy last playoff season. This is a man that had a shoulder, as I've referenced many times before, in his face from Markelle Fultz years ago. And, of course, this is a man that has already dealt with concussion issues in his career. This is a man that's also coming back from the knee ramp-up period injury management. Not an injury because it's not an injury. It's management. It's left knee injury management. Left knee management, I guess. Whatever, it's management. And you finally get him back on the court for not back-to-back nights, of course, but back-to-back games at least, albeit they're about 5 days apart, 5 full days apart, and he can't make it through a half. In case you're wondering, I'm not going down the road of the guy's glass, the guy's soft. I'm going to go down the road because I threw the soft stuff out the window in last year's play. They didn't even play in last year's playoffs. Not to rehash that, but I threw the soft argument out last year. It's just uncredited now. It's just uncredited to say he's soft. I believe he's cursed. I believe he pissed off some people, and they have put a jinx on him. In my culture, we would say the molecule on him. And he basically, if you're Irish, he's the no luck of the Irish for Joel Embiid, I guess. I don't know what they would call it in Cameroon, but this guy has a horrible curse on him, and he's just under the basket. He's just under the basket, and all of a sudden he gets a little, what is it, the forearm shiver? Is that what it is? I forget the industry terms here. And he all of a sudden has to go back to the locker room at halftime. Even before halftime, he's laying there on the court, and he goes back to the locker room and does not come out for the second half of play tonight. The Sixers were trying to make a game of it. Sixers turnover issues in the early goings of the game certainly played an issue in them not being able to make a game of it and eventually losing to the Pacers. But oh my goodness gracious, we have a lot to dissect in tonight's postcast. So once again, welcome into Locked On Sports Philadelphia, Locked On 76ers postcast. Once again, my name is Mark Farzetta. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. And don't forget that your favorite postcast now is a newsletter introducing the Locked On 76ers daily newsletter. One stop. That's right. One stop for the ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. And start your day with the all-new free Locked On 76ers newsletter. This particular episode is brought to you by the wonderful people at Robinhood Gold. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. That's Robinhood.com/gold. Let's get into it. 3 big things. First and foremost, the Joel Embiid injury. I am going to be keeping my eyes on social media. I'm going to be waiting to see what is said by Nick Nurse after the game. Hopefully he has an update for us as to the status of Joel Embiid, who again did not play at all in the second half. There's a lot of concern going around regarding the 76ers and their big man after he was injured with about 10 seconds left in the first half. And we don't have any further details other than the 76ers announced it as right face, impact to the right face, I believe is the way that they actually put it out there. So this is not a good thing. Joel Embiid in the second quarter of this game started to get things going at least a little bit. In the first quarter, he played 10 minutes. He got 1 rebound. He hit 1 shot. It was a 3, and that was it. 10 minutes, 3 points, makes 1 bucket, 1 rebound. In the second quarter, he was actually starting to get things going for himself. Finally, he was hitting his little bunny jumpers. He had a pretty great baseline jumper where he just kind of threw up a prayer and it went in. That was the play that he started wincing a little bit as he was coming back down the court, but he looked like he was starting to get his flow going. I believe it was 10 points alone in that second quarter, and things were starting to mount up. And then he ends up having to leave the game. Tyrese Maxey leads the way with 22 points overall. Joel Embiid ends up finishing the evening playing just 17 minutes, gets 12 points, gets 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 3 of them coming in that second quarter, goes 3 for 4 from the foul line. And just when he started to get his rhythm under him, that's when he gets injured. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I have no other explanation other than to reach for the man is just simply cursed. I know there's haters out there that will go down the road of talking about how he's just soft and he's made of glass and whatever. When an injury like this happens, where he's just standing underneath the basket, which is granted, yeah, maybe the spot he shouldn't be, and out of nowhere, Benedict Mathurin comes in and basically puts his forearm hand into the face of Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid goes down like a sack of potatoes, lies under the basket on the baseline. The doctors come over. The training staff comes over. He eventually walks off the court. He goes to the locker room, and then you never see him again. We were just starting to think we can have some nice things. But as the old saying goes, no, we cannot have nice things. The second thing that I'm going to get into after the Joel Embiid injury, and like I said, I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled for social media. The turnover issue for the Sixers tonight was a thorn in their side early. And the first quarter, the Sixers ended up losing that quarter by 9 points. That's just the opening frame, right? The Sixers were trailing in just the turnover battle. Forget about the score. 8-1. I believe it was 7-1 in the first quarter. And then early in the second quarter, they had another turnover. So 8 turnovers to 1 turnover. As the game went on, the Sixers started to flatten that a little bit and get a little bit back into shape when it came to the turnover battle. But all in all, throughout this game, it was an issue. Shooting-wise, they were able to keep pace for the most part, no pun intended, with the Pacers. But really, it was the extra opportunities. There was one particular instance late in the third quarter, early in the fourth quarter, where the Pacers had an opportunity at a third chance point. Forget about second chance points, third chance points. A save under the basket after a missed three-pointer. Then there was a missed jump shot, which the Pacers hustled to and beat the Sixers to. Oh, my goodness. TJ McConnell beating Andre Drummond in the second quarter to a rebound had me slamming my head against the wall. There are things like that Nick Nurse talks about after each and every game, at least each and every loss, where he'll talk about his guys just getting beat. I mean, I thought this is what that little meeting they had in Miami was supposed to squash. I thought this was supposed to get him going again. Paul George, bless his heart, he really tried to get things going for the Sixers tonight. I saw some hustle from him, but when you needed some clutch shooting from him, you didn't get it. There was one major opportunity there in the fourth quarter where I thought the Sixers were actually going to battle back and tie. It was about the 6:18 mark of the second quarter. Joel Embiid just made the drive, or excuse me, he was driving to the lane, got fouled, went to the line, made both his free throws. It was 43-40 after Joel Embiid made the free throws. Again, about the 6:18 mark of the second quarter. Then the next trip down the court, it's still 43-40. Paul George comes up, gets a wide open corner three, and clankety clank, it goes off the rim, and the Sixers can't tie it. They go down the other end. Next thing you know, you have Tyrese Haliburton making another three, and you have the Sixers again now down 6 points in the game overall. Just little things like that where every time the Sixers would get close, as it's happened really throughout the season in the vast majority of their games, they would start to allow the other team to run away with it. And next thing you know, Pacers would have a 14-0 run the way they did in the first quarter. Then the Pacers would answer a 6 or 7-0 run in the early goings of the second quarter with an 8-0 run of their own. And it was just like that throughout the entire night. The Sixers, I give them all the credit in the world for fighting. I give them all the credit in the world for trying to get something going. In the third quarter, they managed a 15-4 run. They cut the lead to 6, I think it was at that point. Ugh. Hold on, I have it in my notes. Yeah, it was 6, 87-81 with 40 seconds left in the third quarter. And then the Pacers like, yeah, right, enough of this. And then they went on a run of their own. It's just the way it went. And a lot of it was because of turnovers tonight, unfortunately. The third thing, so Embiid's injury, turnovers, game of runs, whatever you want to call it. And then third, yeah, Tyrese Haliburton was kind of on one tonight. I hate tipping your cap to the opponent. And I certainly hate phrases like, hey, the other team gets paid too. Thanks. We all realize they get paid. But Tyrese Haliburton tonight led all scorers. Why doesn't that come? There we go. Led all scorers with 32 points. He had 11 assists. He was 7 for 15 from beyond the arc. And in the first quarter, he had 12 points, all by way of the three. 4 threes, 4 of his 7 threes in that first quarter. And that's what you call a tone setter. End of the third quarter, he was 7 for 15 from beyond the arc. Or excuse me, 7 for 15 from beyond the arc. So they didn't even need him to hit a 3 in the fourth quarter in total. Just what a night for him. Anything he wanted to do, he could do. Second chance points, putbacks, raining threes in the game. And the guy that certainly deserves an honorable mention in tonight's game is Obi Toppin, who came off the bench tonight. And he was able to drop in 20 points. I think his season high is 21 points. He dropped in 20 points in 20 minutes of work, hit 2 threes, was 7 for 11 from beyond the arc, had a nasty alley-oop that he caught from TJ McConnell. That was another part of a second quarter run there for the Pacers, and just threw it down with great authority. And he was talking about a guy who was on one, considering he's a bench player. Coming off the bench to score 20 points for the Pacers tonight. That was kind of a big deal. TJ McConnell chipped in 11 off the bench tonight for the Pacers, and the Sixers bench was able to get Ricky Council the fourth, 14 points. Andre Drummond had 7. KJ Martin had 13. Jared McCain had 5. Jared McCain tonight had 5 points in the first quarter and then skunked the rest of the way. So that's what I'm looking at in tonight's basketball game. Where the Sixers go from here, we'll get into that later, but oh my goodness, just a team that can't have nice things. We'll talk about one or two of the encouraging things that I saw tonight. It actually goes back to what we were talking about last week that I saw from Tyrese Maxey, and I hope it's something that the Sixers are able to get going again in order to help Tyrese Maxey's game. That's when we return on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. This is Locked On Sports Philadelphia on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. I'm Mark Farzetta, back after this. This is good. My first show in a while. I had like a week off from doing POSTCAST. I'm glad I know where all the buttons are. You know what else I'm glad? I'm glad I know what Robinhood Gold is, ladies and gentlemen. With Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Robinhood Gold allows others to get the rates and perks usually reserved for high society. Now, the resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn the very liberal rate of 4.25% APY on uninvested cash and be rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on IRA account contributions. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at robinhoodgold.com/gold. Excuse me, that's Robinhood Gold. Jeez, I did it again. That's robinhood.com/gold. Robinhood.com/gold. One more time. Robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply. For product specific disclosures, visit robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold, LLC. Encouraging things, okay? Encouraging things in this game. I know it's I don't like when players argue with refs. I don't like it when they argue with umpires. I just play the game, that whole thing. But I think there comes a point in every young man's career, or ladies, if we're talking about the WNBA, where they need to be the squeaky wheel. They can't let the officials think that I could just miss a call on this guy because he's not gonna call me out on it. You know what I mean? So Tyrese Maxey again tonight for the third straight game, because I watched him do it against the Bulls too. I went back and watched that game, even though they were on the same time as the Eagles. Against the Magic, he was doing the same thing. In the Sixers 102-94 win, first game of their amazing 2-game win streak, I watched Tyrese Maxey continuously go up to the officials. After missed calls, or what he thought were missed calls, and for the most part were missed calls, he became the squeaky wheel. And you got to do that from time to time. And the point I made last week is the same point I think is worth reiterating after watching him tonight, which is he drives the lane, he gets fouled, there's no call. There was one particular instance in the second quarter tonight where I said, good for you, Tyrese Maxey. And again, I hate when people are arguing with the officials. And Tyrese Maxey tried to run a two-man game with Joel Embiid from the top of the key. Dribbled to his right, went to thread the needle between two defenders, and it went off one of the defenders' legs. And it was obvious. It was blatantly obvious. But in the meantime, a Pacer picked up the basketball and got about 2 or 3 dribbles in before they finally called the kick ball. Now, before they finally called the kick ball, before the opposing Pacer started putting the ball on the floor, even before his first dribble going the opposite direction to try to get a run-out play, try to get a fast break, Tyrese Maxey already has his hands up in the air. He's already yelling at the official, like, what are you doing? And the official finally made the call, and he called the kickball. Look, it's the stupidest thing. It's the smallest thing. I know how that looks to a lot of people. But to me, who's been watching Tyrese Maxey, I'm sure to a lot of you who've been watching Tyrese Maxey throughout his career, and to see Tyrese Maxey continuously get fouls not called in his favor, it is annoying as hell. I'd rather watch a basketball player argue and fight for calls than him get it at the rate he hasn't been getting it. Because the refs need to understand that he's a star in this league now. You make an all-star team, you'll show signs to be the most improved player in the NBA. More often than not, you're fighting without your MVP candidate in the lineup in Joel Embiid. You deserve everything you can get. And if the refs aren't going to make that acknowledgement, make them make that acknowledgement. Now, you might think, oh, that would make the refs not want to call it because he's arguing. Guess what? Refs don't want to get shown up either. Refs don't, believe it or not, refs don't want to look stupid. Sure, sometimes they do. I can say that. I was a referee for 10 years. Not in the NBA, but at a pretty high level of 6th grade girls. Anyway, no. In all seriousness, no, ref for 10 years in high school, whatever. But when you look at it at high school level, not when I was in high school, they don't want to get shown up either. They want to make the right call. Believe it or not, refs want to make the right call. And I've talked to NBA refs. I've talked to NFL refs. They don't want to be the bad guy. They rather not ever have their name mentioned. Yes, that saying you've heard your whole life about referees. Oh, if I know the referee's name, he probably sucks. That's true. They believe that. They know it. I've talked to him plenty. So Tyrese Maxey going up to him with his hands in the air, trying to have conversations, trying to fight for calls, that will help him. That will not go the other way. And even if it did, it's kind of hard to go lower than the amount of calls he's been getting throughout his career anyway. So you might as well, again, to reiterate, become the squeaky wheel. I saw that again tonight. I was laughing out loud when I saw him do it on the kick ball because I was blown away by how long it took to make that call. There was a number of plays where he was driving to the basket. One where I didn't think he was fouled at all, but he turned around and gave it to the official. Keep doing it, Ty. Keep doing it there, Tyrese. Do it all the live long day until you get the respect you deserve from the referees. I am going back to social media right now after that little thing. As I'm looking at social media, I see Anthony telling me the new arena is going to be packed in 2023 or 2031. That's great. That's funny. That's really funny. Why isn't this coming up? Checking our Locked On 76ers postcast host and, of course, Inquirer.com writer Keith Pompey. Nothing so far from the 76ers locker room. The only thing the Sixers have officially commented on is impact to right side of the face. That is the official ruling from the Sixers as of right now. Joel Embiid, impact to right side of face, will not return. He'll undergo further testing. Look, I don't want to. If you're going to say a guy got hit in the head, like for instance, in the third quarter, Jared McCain came down on his head, and they called that concussion protocol. Okay. All they're saying is Joel Embiid got hit in the face in the most pretentious way possible. Still, at this point, no word on Joel Embiid. Checking around a couple of more sites here, see if we can get. All right, these are not nice things I'm seeing now on social media, so I'm just going to go to break. All right, when we come back, I'm going to get into the chat check. I'm going to see what you guys have to say about this 76ers loss, if there are any signs of hope that we could get into here. And there's one more player that continues to impress, and I got to talk about him when we return. This is Locked On Sports Philadelphia, Locked On 76ers postcast, back in a few. FanDuel. You guys having a good time with FanDuel? I hope you are. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because right now new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need in one place, like live bets on the NFL. That's right, all in one place. You get a hunch in the middle of a game? You can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com and join today, where you can get in on the action when you talk about the Super Bowl champion. Detroit Lions going off right now, plus 80, or excuse me, plus 280, that is. Kansas City Chiefs going off at plus 500, as are the Philadelphia Eagles. Buffalo Bills at plus 650. Ravens at plus 1,000. Minnesota Vikings going off at plus 1,700 right now. As far as the MVP award, Josh Allen going off at minus 450. Quarterback bias. Saquon Barkley at plus 55. 550, that is. I'm good at reading math numbers. Lamar Jackson going off at plus 1,400. That's the way that's looking. Offensive player of the year, Saquon Barkley running away with it, pun intended that time, at minus 450. Jamar Chase is at plus 600. Get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet at FanDuel. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, like taking advantage right now of the Lions going off plus 280 to win the Super Bowl, the Chiefs at plus 500, and the Eagles at plus 550. Visit FanDuel.com. Never waste that hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. I got to be honest here. KJ Martin, man. KJ Martin is the guy I'm going to be highlighting when you talk about, again, another performance tonight that was impressive from KJ Martin. This is another game now where you see him go up there and really start to be somebody the Sixers can count on off the bench. Was he an all-star tonight? No. Was he mind-blowing again tonight? No. But 13 points for KJ Martin when he's averaging 6.6 points per game, and he's doing it from just about everywhere. We highlighted in the last show that he was just staying around the rim. And that's something that KJ Martin needs to do off the bench to help this 76ers squad. Kelly Oubre also had himself a nice game tonight. Again, all-star standard? No, absolutely not. But you're looking for other guys to step up. It can't just be Tyrese Maxey. Paul George did impress me with at least his effort tonight and the way he was going about his business. But there were other guys I was watching tonight's game that I thought were bringing it and given the best possible effort. And the guy that stood out to me the most that came off the bench was KJ Martin. 13 points in 24 minutes, also had 3 rebounds on the night. You're looking at his last couple of games. You go back to Orlando. He had a 20-point performance. Before that, an 11-point performance against Orlando. You're just looking for contributions off the bench. Didn't get a lot of run, only 18 minutes against the Bulls, but still found a way to chip in 6 points and try to help the cause a little bit. This is a guy, not a big dude. We're talking about a 6'6" player here, small forward, being asked to play a little bit of power forward at times. Be that spark. That's all the Sixers can ask of him. And whatever happens, whatever goes down with Joel Embiid, You're going to be needing all the help you can get. One last look at social media. Still nothing. Still nothing. Go to Keith one more time, see if he's got anything on the situation. Nope, still the Sixers being terrible. All right, now let's get to the chat. Check and see how wonderful people are doing on this fine Friday night. Yeah, crazy. Sorry, Mark. I'm out on the season. You might be back. This team is cursed, and the coaching is horrible, and clearly the team is disinterested. BC says, go Lakers. BC says LeBron's the GOAT. That's wrong. He's not hurt. Are you a real fan or a fan of 2020's lazy worst generation? What? Sir Sketchable. Don't do it, crazy. The Forest dog needs you. Thank you, Sir Sketchable. At least the Phillies are going to be a juggernaut with Soto and Crochet. Oh, wait. Yeah. It's not been great. Ari, I see your comment, and I do appreciate that, man. Very much so. Thank you. I'll get your next one up here, though. Crazy for being so lonely. Don't go anywhere, dude. Don't get me started on Patsy Cline. Oh, I'll sing Patsy Cline all the live long night. All we have is each other. Right? We can't have nice things. That makes it hard to get rings. All right, anyway. Yeah, this sucks. Are the Sixers cursed? That's where we're at right now, folks. Are the Sixers cursed? I'm just seeing nothing but awful things about Joel Embiid. And they're just people venting frustration. I'm looking at the mothership. Yep. That's a forearm. That's a forearm to the face, all right. Onto the basket with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. You were 6.5 seconds away from him just bye-bye. Going into halftime. Sixers not in that much trouble. Going into the halftime, they're down 11. So, yeah, it wasn't great. But you have the big man coming out second half. But you didn't, unfortunately, tonight. No further word on Joel Embiid, unfortunately. Ari, mad respect for you knowing that was Patsy. Ari, you know me, man. You know me. Of course I know that's Patsy. I'm the world's oldest 40-something-year-old. Anyway, all right, what's up next for the 76ers? Up next for the 76ers, they're going to find out what the heck's going on with Joel Embiid. And then after that, they're going to get right back to it. Come Monday night against the Charlotte Hornets. They play the Hornets again. Sixers Hornets will tip off at 7 o'clock Monday night. With or without the big man, we'll keep our fingers crossed. The Hornets are 7-17 on the season right now. Sixers, after their loss tonight, dropped to 7-16 on the evening. By the way, Sixers, even with the loss tonight, aren't that far behind in the at least play-in tournament round. So get excited for that. Sixers have taken both games so far against the Hornets this season, taking the first one in overtime, 107-105. And then the Sixers won 110-104. That was their second game back on the 3rd of December, and that one was played in Charlotte. So hopefully the Sixers keep on keeping on with their luck against the Charlotte Hornets. And, don't be a cursed team. That'd be fun, too. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is Locked On 76ers Postcast. Make sure you like and subscribe to Locked On Sports Philadelphia. And, again, don't forget your favorite your favorite podcast has a newsletter. That's right, Locked On 76ers daily newsletter. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. And start your day with the all-new free Locked On 76ers newsletter. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Again, like and subscribe to Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Be back with you guys Monday for Sixers Hornets. And then, don't forget, following Eagles Steelers this Sunday, you got Jason Martinez and Harry Mays for your Locked On Eagles postcast. So make sure you guys like and subscribe, Locked On Sports Philadelphia, for that postcast as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be back with you guys on Monday. See you then. Until then, go Birds.